Today's video is about string operators and functions. If you have ever wanted to mix formula results with words in a cell, we'll cover that. We'll also look at how to grab a small portion of what is in a cell, kind of the reverse of putting two cells together. In our example sheet today, we have voltage and current. If you look close though, you will see that the units are in the same cell as the numbers. If we tried to add these two cells together, Excel has no idea what to do with volts or the space. We need to be able to extract the 14 and use it in a formula. Most of the time I would recommend putting the units in a different cell, like over here, say 14 here and volts here. But sometimes you're stuck with what you're given, and sometimes you want to fit a certain format. So we'll go over how to deal with this. Our goal today is to make this cell read 28 watts. Power is equal to volts times current. I'm sure not many people need or care to know about that, but we're trying to get 14 times 2 and watts. But we want it to automatically update when you change the voltage or the current. Let's work backwards from what we know we want the cell to say. I'm going to start by just putting 28 watts in the cell. The first thing we'll need to do is separate the 28 and the characters. To do that, we'll make the whole cell a formula by putting an equal sign at the front. Then we'll make the last little bit into a string of characters by putting quotation marks around it. Now we've got equals, a number, and a string. To tell Excel to concatenate, which means to squish them together, the two pieces together, we will add an ampersand or an and symbol. I like to put a space between it like that just because it's easier for me to read what's going on. You don't have to, but it helps me. So now it says 28 watts, and we're not really that much farther along than where we started, because the 28 still won't update itself. We still have to get that to be 14 times 2. But we want the 14 and the 2 to come from these cells, not from me typing them in. To do that, we'll need two functions, left and find. Left will get the first few characters of a cell, or a string. Find will find a specific character in a cell. What I'm going to do is left, let me get rid of the 14 because that's what we're working with. Left is the function. Then what do we want the left part of? We want the left part of this cell. But how many characters from the left side do we want? We don't want to just say 2 because sometimes it might be a single-digit number. It might be a 3-digit number. So we're going to use find, which is a function that will let us find the space in there, and it will return 3 because the space is the third character. If it were a 3-digit number, it will return 4. So we will say find the space, which you'll put in quotation marks, find the space, comma, within text. What text are we searching? That cell, B1. Now it's going to return 3 but how many characters do we want? In this case, we want 2. So we're going to put a -1. Enter. Still says 28 watts, but now if I change this to 13, it says 26. So we were at least successful in getting it to pull the number off there. And just to prove that the number of digits won't matter, I'm going to change it to a 9. It's still, because of that find, it knows how many digits to pull off of that. Let's go back to 14, just for giggles. And we'll do the same thing with the 2. Left, but we're going to pull from B2, then find the space in B2 and subtract 1. Enter. Now if we change the number of amps, let's say 25. 350 watts. That's pretty much all I have on this particular video, but next week we'll go over a few more string functions that need a different example to make them make sense. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share with anyone you think would benefit. Also, comment below. Thanks for watching.